Welcome back to PGI, where I am joined with a great friend of mine, Mr. Guy Clausen. He is a wide receiver for the Motor City V8s that just came off a fantastic win over the Baltimore Vultures, the current champions. Man, how does that feel?
Oh man, it's it's a big relief off of us because we thought we would be like in a shootout with them, considering how T. Roy and Warren were their weapons on offense, and that's how they built around them. But we gave them left and right jabs, and we we essentially knocked them out.
You did. You guys did. Um, it was you pretty much led the entire time, if I'm not mistaken. So
Oh
you
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely we did. Yeah, yeah. Um, our defense, uh, they were they were the Emma stars of the game. You know, uh, our secondary always came in clutch. I do have concern about our front line on defense. I kind of wish they would be a little bit more faster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just it. I'm not criticizing them. I'm just like saying, maybe get after these quarterbacks for the rest of the season because they'll be very elusive. We need our front line to get after them. But anyways, yes, yeah, we big win.
Good deal. Good deal. Last question I have for you before I let you go. Now, I know your team faced a bit of adversity towards the beginning of the year. And you guys are sitting at 4-2 now. So I'm wondering, how did your team overcome the adversity? How did your coaches overcome that adversity to even make it to this point to where you're 4-2 and you've basically just won this game over the champion?
Um, I would say Drew put in a a lot of hours to get the perfect playbook on offense and defense. Um, I appreciate his dedication, and so does the coaching staff and owners of Colin Dwayne. They they appreciate him a lot. Um, it, um, our expectation at the start of the season was kind of mid. Um, I know that London they they are inactive, and our division was like up for grabs. So far, we have been putting in front of Canton and Queen City,
Mm.
and we have a tough 4 game stretch now. Um, but I think we can go as far as we can now that with this big win over Baltimore, I think the sky is the limit for us.
Awesome. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck for the rest of the season. I am very curious, very, very curious to see how far you guys are going to go. Motor City, even when you guys were St. Louis, when you were the St. Louis Gladiators, still, one of those teams that are right here for me. So good luck, y'all. And I want to see
Thank
what
you.
y'all do. All right.
Thank you, Ashley, for thank you for having me come on your show.
You're very welcome. Come back anytime. All right, brother.
Definitely will. Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Back to you in the booth. All right, we're back with PGI, where I am joined with a great friend of mine, Mr. Jacob Clear. He is the head coach of the Charleston Predators. It just came out a fantastic win over the Atlanta Swarm. And Atlanta Swarm is a very formidable opponent. They won this game 27-6. How are you doing,
Better after that, that's for sure. And look, it's funny. I scheduled this with you before the like I'd even started game playing for this week because after that Canton result, this game was either gonna, you know, send us into a point where our season was, you know, almost over at that point because we would have been at 5 losses. But then we came out, we get the win, and with the next couple of fixtures coming up, it sets our season up for a bit of a return to form.
Awesome. So, do you think changing up your playbooks, because after all, it's 230 plays you can possibly enter in or more each week. Do you think that changing up the playbooks or maybe starting from scratch, do you think that that would help refresh maybe the team so that your opponents, it'd be hard to scout for you doing that? Is that
The very
option?
easy answer to that question is yes. And realistically, when we looked at it, we've used two different base playbooks this season, and from what we understand, both of them don't really work with our personnel. That's just a learning experience, and that's really the case of some teams this season have found that formula that works for them, and other teams like us haven't quite found that yet. And perhaps the book we used on Friday was a bit of a sign of the way we should be playing as opposed to as we had in recent weeks. And I think the most telling thing, and the scoreboard definitely reflects that, was defensively. We completely changed the game script from what we had on the road last week in Canton. We just could not get a third down stop to save our lives. And oddly enough, we used the same playbook against Florida, and it was the same issue. So perhaps the Canton game was a bit of, us finding out the hard way what happens when you don't respond to your errors. And we made the necessary adjustments this week, and it was a stark difference.
Absolutely. And, that's all it's about. This is a learning season for everyone. And so I do wish you the best of luck. I know when the start of the season, guys came out red hot and things kind of, tapered off a little bit, but you seem like you're getting back into good form. So continue the good work, coach.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and look, I can't even take credit for it necessarily because I initiated the change of base, but it was realistically the props have to be given to our DC Matt Bryan, who stood up this week and sort of took it into his own, adjusted the playbook, made the adjustments necessary. I mean, if you're a DC and you turn a week where you can see over 40 points into a week where you can see no touchdowns at all, 6 points, that is impressive. So I give him my props. But it's a huge win because we've got two home games coming up within the division, including Baltimore. It's Carolina and then Baltimore, and then the schedule kind of gets a bit weird from that point on. But these are the two most important games on our schedule, the ones coming up.
All right, then. Well, we'll go ahead and let you go so you can concentrate, coach. But again, good luck to you for the rest of the season. Looks like you're on the right path. So keep it going. All right.
Thank you very much, Ashley.
You're very welcome. All right. Back to you in the booth.
Yeah.
Welcome back to PGI, where I'm joined with Mr. Ryan Yosef, a good friend of mine that's over from LA Likens. Oh, safety, two interceptions. This game also helped with the playbook, helped Sully put their foot in this playbook to help give them the edge over Houston Headhunters. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Good to have you. I know you're
Yeah.
happy.
Hey, when sometimes you get a few strings of the L's, and then you finally get a W, it can feel pretty nice, especially when you put in the work. With someone like Sully and Ray and the team over there, it's a lot of hours to not have a W every now and then in order to feel nice about it. So felt like it was
Mhm.
overdue.
Yeah, yeah, and I think a lot of people would agree, especially fans of LA and the West Coast in general. Now, question: What do you think happened this game that was so significantly different? Um, that gave you that edge? Because I know for one, I love the way Sully was playing this game. It seemed like he was hitting on all cylinders, making the big plays when it mattered. So, is there any other moments that you want to mention?
I think for us, when we take a look at how it turned out this week, we had a string on offense of having nice big plays, but couldn't quite ball control very well. So we'd find ourselves with quick drives that might yield points, and that's like catch 22. It's really nice. You want to get points, but at the same time, you got to chew up some clock in order to help the defense a little bit with the way that we've been playing. I think our defense played well this week. We were able. The numbers kind of don't show maybe a true story, but we've been having trouble stopping the run, and at least by controlling the ball on the offensive side a little bit more, you give them a few less opportunities on offense. And then what really showed up this week was a little bit more opportunistic defense. I don't like to take credit for the interceptions because Sully decides who goes where and when and how and why and all those other things. But well-timed turnover, and really just a shout out to the folks in the community that have been trying to help LA behind the scenes string together a win. I think when it for us, one of those frustrating things is we really do try to take this seriously because we want our players to have a good season and reflect well and have fun. And there's a big difference between losing by 3, winning by 3, or losing by 30, and that's, you want to feel like you're in the game. And so we were excited. It came down to the last 3 minutes and we were able to step up. We still are struggling running the football. I'm not going to lie about that. That's probably my biggest frustration with this season is we soundly invested in the running back, and I haven't been able to hold up my end of the bargain in order to make sure that is a well-invested position. But I think we've got some things for Sully figured out, keep him comfortable in the pocket in order to be able to move us down the field. But we got to figure out how to run the football.
Baby steps. I mean, that's one thing that you guys were kind of struggling with last season was getting Sully in that position to make those major plays. Now that you have that, now it's time to work on the running back. So you guys are going to get there.
We'll get there. It's where, I mean, what else would you do with your evenings? I mean, some people go do crazy things after work, and other people just log into a game in order to try to figure out how to get an edge. I'm just saying, some of us out here have lives. I mean, out there, not out here. So.
Awesome. Well, hats off to coaches, hats off to coordinators. It is a thankless job, in my opinion. And I just wanted to say thank you for the work you do. All right.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. All right. So back to you in the booth. All right. And I am back with PGI and another good friend of mine, Mr. Pauly Truth. He is co-owner for the Seattle Nemesis and coming off a fantastic win. Oh, I know you were on pins and needles doing this one, but this Vegas game. It looked like they were coming back on y'all for a minute.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough game. It started off a little slow. Both defenses really showed out in the first half, but just a few miscues on offense, but that's always something you can look back on and kind of work around. But once the game started to develop a little bit, going into the second half, the offense started to get rolling. Our defense played phenomenally all game long, only allowing 14 points. That's probably the best defensive game we've had all season, so definitely something to work on. And looking forward, we have 3 home games coming up back to back to back. So sitting at 4-2 right now, top of the Pacific. It's looking pretty good for us over here right now.
And I'm sure that's a good feeling, especially after all the hard work that you guys put into this type attack and Tita Queen, everybody over there, Doug Day, everybody's working as even Ethan, Kai, everyone working as a cohesive unit to be able to get this team off the ground and going in the right direction. And it seems like every season you guys are on their upward trajectory. So fun to watch.
Absolutely. Definitely a total group effort. Huge shout out to Ty. He's putting in a lot of work and the results are showing. So huge credit to him. Credit to everyone on the team, in the front office. Everyone's putting in the work. And yeah, to start off our franchise with only one win in season 19, jumping up to 4 wins last season. It's week 8, and we already have 4 wins. So, as you said, just continually progressing upwards, and all we can do each week is go out there and try to come out with a win.
Right? Propel upward out the hemisphere, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Pauly. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Ashley.
All right, back to you in the booth. And welcome back to PGI, where I'm joined with a good friend of mine, Mr. Robert Brady Jr. He is a defensive end for the Denver Night Wings. Of course, he had to come on and let me know about myself today. I did a pick against Denver in this Minnesota matchup, and Denver came out there firing on all cylinders this week. So, congratulations for your win, man. And I think you even got what was the sack?
Finally, yes. Finally, yes, I did.
Awesome, man. So tell me, what was that feeling like, y'all getting this win after, a few weeks of not doing so, and then get that big sack that she was looking for?
Actually, it was huge.
Yeah.
Morale was always good in the locker room. Coaches were always confident. It was a situation where in the locker room we were like, nobody believes in us. I mean, we're a young team. So I'm not going to say it's not warranted for people to not think so much of us. But even though we're a young team, we got talented players, man. Our defense is for real, and it showed. It showed this week. We were going up against a team where nobody gave us a chance, and we came out. And like you said, we came out firing on all cylinders, offense, defense, special teams. Finally, I was able to contribute in the way and form and fashion that I feel that I should. It was great getting the first sack out. Hopefully there's many more to come. But it was a good game. It was a really good game, a hard-fought game.
Awesome. So what do you think the key will be to next week's matchup for Denver Night Wings?
So I think the one thing that we have to do is we have to remember that we go by Bailey. I mean, Bailey is kind of the lead of the team. He's the one that we have to kind of jump on his back offensively. We got to make the passing plays when we need them. I mean, that's clutch. We got to. There's going to be times where you got to pass. Defensive wise, I think we just keep on trucking, man. We just keep on trucking. Let those rookies continue to grow and develop. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Come, even if this season doesn't work out the way that we hope, which I personally believe we're going to make the playoffs and we're going to make some noise. But if that didn't happen, come next season, I mean, you got to look from the salary cap perspective. We're all rookies, the majority of us, and they're just going to get better. I mean, so I really believe in the coach and his idea, the owner, and his idea of what he was trying to put together. And I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Awesome. Well, I wish y'all the best. And thank you for coming out and representing the Denver Night Wings the way that they should be represented. So congratulations on your win.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Back to you in the booth. All right. Welcome back to PGI, where I'm joined with Mr. Eddie Gage. He is head coach of the Arizona Scorpions, as well as co-owner and Hall of Fame strong safety, coming off a very narrow win over the Sioux Falls Sparrows, 27-20. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. Nothing like a win after a bye week, sitting around watching everybody else play and finally get back out there and turn up with my guys. That was sweet.
Indeed. Now this victory did not come without, some bumps in the road, a few interceptions, 3 interceptions from the offense, some missed opportunities from the defense. But what do you think some of the keys to the victory were for this Arizona Scorpions team tonight?
Well, I think he just hit on it. My defense played probably collectively our best game of the season, and it came at a great time because, like you said, we had some unfortunate turnovers. One of them, I know why it happened. And pretty much nothing I can do about that one, but the other two, I don't know. I just couldn't quite get my head wrapped around what was happening to us. One of them, Ryan got bumped off his route, and it was a timing play and got picked off, and the other one was just inexcusable. So, but shout out to Sioux Falls. They showed up and they came to win too. And two great teams that they're competing. And thankfully for us, although our offense had I guess you can call it an off night, our defense stepped up big time, man. I mean, big time. We had, I don't know, like 8, 9 pass deflections. And I swear, coming into this game, I believe we ranked 6th in the SFL in pass deflections. And I swear, it seems like we probably going to be 4th by the time it's all said and done this week because we just cannot catch. We just continue to just bat balls away and not catch them. And it's just disappointing. But hopefully, sooner or later, we get this figured out and get some turnovers too. But our D-line stepped up. Man, we had some great pressure up front. We was harassing Julian Tyree all night, and it was great to see. So shout out to our defense because they won this game for us today.
Indeed, indeed. Now, I think the moral of this entire story is that this is a learning season for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it is you finding out what works for the team build that you're trying to create and understanding that this is 2 totally different games that you're dealing with. So you can grasp that, then the sky is the limit for any team. So
For sure.
thank you so much, Coach. I really appreciate your time.
Arizona, I love you, man. Let's go on the next week. We got LA, and they just came off an impressive win versus Houston, so it's going to be tough, but let's go get it, y'all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eddie.
For sure.
Back to you in the booth.